We actually have a belief that if you go about things in a certain way, it's going to lead to good outcomes. We think getting out of the silos and integrating people in place, having authentic community engagement that's really guiding what's going on, being able to build on data and information so that we're not acting as if we don't understand the problem or acting as if we don't plan to produce results. So, this use of data for continuous improvement and measuring progress. So, we look for that kind of process, but also when things are making a difference, it gives a lot of momentum and credibility to lifting something up. So, it's really a combination. But we're very entrepreneurial and opportunistic about what we pick because sometimes you can create a buzz out of nothing and get something in place. But when a buzz is emerging, you really need to jump on it. And we tend to do that. The things that Dolores mentioned in terms of promised neighborhoods and access to food, which is the Healthy Food Financing Initiative, and My Brother's Keeper, all of those things actually allow us to be able to identify some momentum in society and the policy world, identify something that is promising, working, or proven in terms of being evidence-based, and really use communication and organizing and policy development to be able to make sure the moment connects with the best that we know that's out there. But I think that what it is we respect the iterative process of really good policy. That if we're trying to identify things that are happening on the ground, it's important to be close to community so that you're not just going at the thing that happens to be getting attention, but that people in community feel that it's important. It's important to work with community in getting a policy in place. You can't just impose it or do it for. We think local leaders are national leaders. They're solving the nation's problems, and they need to be thought of as policy advocates too. So working with community to be able to push for something to happen, then being an advocate and getting it in place. But getting a policy in place does not ensure faithful implementation or the kind of engagement that allows it to continue to learn. And so the iterative process is once you get a policy in place, going back to community and saying, here's what we're hoping this policy will do. What skills do you need to be able to do it? Too often, I think people who do evaluation of programs end up finding that something isn't effective because the outcomes aren't achieved. But really, the implementation is probably where things fell down. And to assume that it wasn't successful doesn't mean the idea wasn't good, but the capacity to be able to do what one had in mind was never developed. And so we really like to invest in that capacity. And that's what we've done with Promised Neighborhoods.